Verification of information. Today we'll talk about how to determine whether you're looking at a fake or not. In order to narrow down the search and quickly identify a fake, you need to pay attention to individual details and markers in the analyzed messages. Markers of fakes. Such markers include clickbait.
The word clickbait comes from a combination of English words. Click and hit the bait. This is a content of special form and meaning to attract the user's attention to a subsequent informational message with a deliberately distorted meaning. Spectacular, high-profile headlines can be used both to attract attention and intentionally mislead the user. Major publications and resources, even if they resort to using clickbait headlines, try to use them consciously, without abusing the accuracy of information. At the same time, a number of sources use clickbait mechanics to generate false theses. Fakes planted or borrowed from foreign sources are characterized by multiple spelling and syntax errors, such as poor quality translation of the text, ignorance of the language at the native level, automatic translation, as well as deliberate attempts to humanize a pre-prepared text. Another frequent marker of potentially unreliable data. Fakes often use the following linguistic constructs: anonymous attribution of information. For example, such constructions as famous scientist are already well known and proven. Shifting responsibility for data accuracy. For example, information from acquaintance law enforcement officer. The introduction of such a construct not only allows for a higher reader's level of trust, but also contributes to the spread of the fake. It's much easier to share information that someone else is responsible for, so the spreader has a perceived sense of not being guilty of misrepresentation. Urgent request on distribution. For example, share it with your loved ones, or send it urgently to a friend. This is an important attribute of fake news, since its main goal is to be spread. Truth disclosure constructs. For example, finally found out, the truth is revealed, we were deceived, and so on. Calls to online and offline actions. Write applications. Go to the barricades. Buy food. Do not drink water. One of the markers of fakes is incorrect dating of events. Using old photos and videos that don't relate to the events described should also be a signal to verify reports of deliberate compromise of public authorities, senior officials, or executive authorities. It is also worth paying attention to the credibility of the sources of distribution. Radicalized sources, social networks, and closed group chats are examples of sources and environments where fake content is most common. Targeted dissemination of fake information using bots and fake accounts. Simultaneous publication of the same information on multiple accounts. Simultaneous repost entries by multiple accounts, and other signs of coordination. This includes typical comments under the post, mass likes, and reposts from accounts that are not related to the source account. All of these markers suggest that the dissemination of information is taking place through automated means of delivery and not in good faith. Clearly, when detecting fakes and using bots, it is necessary to verify the distributed content. Please note that these markers do not confirm that the message is fake, but only help to identify a potential threat. A message is recognized as a fake during the verification process. When identifying a potential threat of spreading false information, it is also useful to carefully monitor the information field at the federal level and in other regions too. As we have already seen, fakes often travel, acquire new texture, they revive and in general spread and live in a rather interesting way. Therefore, having tracked the outburst of a fake in a particular region, it is possible to prevent or prepare for its escalation in another region. For example, on the screen we can see a fake that was borrowed from foreign sources and has spread quite widely, moving from one region to another.